trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. We keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. We keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading on light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. We keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. We keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading on light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. We keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your daily vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so let's get into it. Hold on. I'm trying to pull up my chat on my phone. All right. Hello, Joy. Claudette's in the house. All right. DJ Big Six. Nessa G is here. All right. Root Trackers. All right. Okay. So with that all being said, hey, Juju. All right. Winter Blessings is in the house. Shout out to my moderators putting in work. I see you, Lillian X. Okay. So everybody hit that like button. I see you, Buckhorse DC. Okay. Who is this? Abdil Ben Levy? Okay, I hope I said that name right. Shout out to you. Okay, hey, Laverne. With that all been said, let's have a brief word from my sponsor so we can get into it, okay? I don't want to be on here too long because you guys know that All the Queen's Men comes on tonight, and I don't miss an episode.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes Hair Oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts, and you can also find it at Walmart.com. And don't forget that she has this lovely beard oil for men. Okay, so you guys, okay, so let me just tell you all something. So Al B. Sure was supposedly had a book deal that has now been put on ice because he refused to give them more information or give them information about Diddy, which is all they probably wanted to give him the book deal for, because they wanted it to be about Diddy. But he knows that if he writes anything or puts anything in that book that's lies, that he can get sued. He's already been caught lying. Okay, he's already been caught lying. So we're going to get into it, because here's the thing. Just a few days ago, there was a report that came out, and it was on, I believe that I first saw it on the Neighborhood Watch or the Neighborhood Talk. Okay. And it was something about Al B. Sure was claiming that Diddy's PR team had paid like $50,000 to have stories about Kim Porter shut down or whatever. Anyway, the story sounded like a bunch of lies, in my opinion. And so that all being said, I didn't bother to report on it. Well, now it's come out and they've confirmed that it's all lies and BS. And here's the thing. Let me show you what happens when you try to Google the story now. Because I tried to go back to get those fake arts receipts that Al B. Sure supposedly showed so that I could show you all that it was all BS. Okay, now right here, you see this? Where it says MSN, Al B. Sure accuses Diddy's PR team of erasing Kim Porter. Now watch what happens when I click on this link. See that? This story is unavailable. Okay. All right. So I find that all interesting, to say the least. And then they post where they had it on the Neighborhood Talk. Okay. So I went on there and tried to pull it up, and it says the same thing. This page no longer exists. Okay. So with that all being said, clearly he wasn't telling the whole truth. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. Likes up, everyone, please like and share, because here's what they're now reporting. I'm going to share this on the screen. Al B. Sure was one of the many people who all of a sudden started getting publicity when they were coming out saying stuff about Diddy. Now, you know, a lot of people for Diddy talking about Diddy was a grift and clout chasing. See that? Consulting firm slams false Al B. Sure claims, says they never provided any services to Diddy. Okay. So anyway, no wonder Quincy just, don't pay him no attention. So anyway, let's talk about it, because the people came out and said it's all fake and false. The singer had purported that Diddy hired a firm to scrub headlines and bury stories about Porter's 2018 death. Okay. Now, and this came out yesterday. Okay, so Actum, a global consultancy firm, is speaking out about categorically false and defamatory. He might be getting sued. Defamatory remarks made by Al B. Sure, who recently purported that a high-profile cover-up or a high-level cover-up had taken place in relation to Kim Porter's death. They say the statements made by Al B. Sure regarding Actum are categorically false and defamatory. This is what Michael Eisner of Eisner Law, representing Actum, said on Wednesday. Actum has never provided any services to Diddy or to any of his affiliated companies or associates, either directly or indirectly. We're working with our legal team and will be taking immediate action with respect to these statements. Al B. Sure, you're about to get sued, beloved. About to get sued. You see, this is why you don't just say things. You could think whatever you want. You're entitled to think or feel however you may. But at the end of the day, you can't just be making unfounded claims. Okay, you can't be saying things as if they're true when you don't know if they're true and you have nothing to back it up and to prove the merit of what you're saying. Okay, Al B. Sure, I'm very disappointed in you, beloved. Now, I want you all to keep in mind that when I interviewed Courtney Burgess, who's a liar who lies, you guys know that I was the second person to interview him. Matthew Cox of True Crime interviewed him first, and I interviewed him 3 hours later on that same day, and he was telling lies, and I knew it. And he also even lied on Al B. Sure and Diddy. Okay, and so I knew that he was lying. He lied on Tupac too. I mean, he just told a bunch of lies. But with that all being said, because I didn't want to defame anyone or didn't want to promote the lies that he spewed, I privated that video. And you all remember that. Okay. And that video was getting a lot of traction. It had like over 8,000 views just that quick. But I put the video on private because, I'm not sitting up here gonna play, a video that's full of lies about people just for clicks and views, is all I'm saying. So I'll be sure, this is really a shame. So anyway, it goes on to say a cease and desist letter has been sent to the 57-year-old singer. Now, in a since deleted post shared on his Instagram account, Shakur shared an alleged screenshot of an email thread between public strategy firm Actum and Diddy's Bad Boy Entertainment with the subject line that read, Kim Porter Media Blackout. And that's exactly what it said, because I saw it. Okay, I actually saw it on the Neighborhood Talk. Okay, and I'm like, what is this? And then the purported email included the alleged statement. It said, per our contract, we've suppressed Kim Porter's death rumors in 27 outlets. Inquirer is holding for the $50,000. And then beneath that, there was an urgent note about Albie Shakur escalating Porter claims. Okay, that was mentioned along with directions to discredit via mental health framing. Okay, so like say that, I guess they were trying to say, he was framing it to look like they were saying he had mental health issues. So anyway, like I said, I saw all of that about 2 days ago. Now, Shakur captioned the post writing, diabolical. Remember when I stated there was the most expensive PR campaign? This is what Albie Shakur said. Remember when I stated there was the most expensive PR media campaign initiated to conceal evidence, discredit, silence, and drag me through the national media when I exposed all of this deplorable activity and then stood 10 toes down about Kimberly's alleged murder? Albie's just looking for attention, clout chasing, etc. He said that's what people were saying. Well, that's what he was doing. Okay, incorrect. I didn't ask to be dragged into any of this depravity. Okay, be gang stalked, and you have no idea what else but will. So in a separate post, he added saying, don't shoot the messenger here. If my name incidentally appears in a sealed court document without my knowledge, it is the responsibility of competent legal counsel to conduct appropriate due diligence to ascertain the context. Any reference to mental health framing in such public filings or in such filings, particularly if used inappropriately to deflect from the gravity of a potential murder investigation, should be scrutinized with the utmost seriousness. Porter welcomed son Quincy with Albie Shakur in June of 1991. She began dating Diddy in 1994 when Quincy was just 3 years old. The late model and actress also shared 3 other children with Diddy. Okay, so with that all being said, honey, these people are saying Albie Shakur is just a liar who lies and made all that stuff up. They never worked for Diddy. They never tried to cause a Kim Porter media blackout to discredit or get rid of stories about her death or any of that. Nobody paid them $50,000. That it was all fake and false. And like I said, I knew it was fake and false when I saw it. That's why I didn't bother to get on here and report it to you guys. Okay, so now that's just been confirmed. But here's the thing. Now, this is breaking news. Breaking news. Albie Shakur's book deal gets shelved amid allegations of him fabricating stories against PR firm. This came out yesterday, too. It says, liar, liar. Okay, I find it all so interesting. So, book publisher Simon & Schuster has decided to put Albie Shakur's book project on hold. This news was first reported by Page 6, where they're reporting that the book publisher, Simon & Schuster, are having creative difference as it relates to the book's direction, according to Brown's attorney. Now, Brown previously suggested that Combs might have been responsible for the singer's prior medical issue, but has not provided any receipts to support such a claim. Now, on August the 7th of 2025, in a shocking turn of events that has rattled the entertainment and public relations industries, R&B singer and producer Albie Shakur has been accused of fabricating a damaging story involving hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs and a top-tier public relations firm, Actum LLC, in connection to the death of the model and actress Kim Porter. So, according to exclusive information obtained by Hip Hop Inquirer, Albie Shakur, whose real name is Albert Brown, allegedly concocted a false narrative that Combs had hired Actum, a leading crisis management and reputation repair firm, to systematically scrub the internet of any negative reports or conspiratorial content surrounding the tragic 2018 death of Porter, the mother of Combs' 3 children. Multiple insiders familiar with the matter revealed that Al B. Shur had been romantically involved with a high-level female executive at Actum, with whom he co-founded a health equity coalition. But that relationship has since ended, and he has launched a campaign designed to harm both the executive and the company's prestigious brand, which is currently valued in the multi-millions. So Al B. Shur started spinning false narratives to defame Actum and tie them to one of the most painful and mysterious tragedies in hip-hop history. Okay, said one source close to the matter, who asked not to be identified due to the pending legal fallout, saying that it was calculated and vicious and had nothing to do with the truth or journalism. The claims that Sean Combs employed the services of Actum to wipe digital content about Kim Porter's death have now been flatly denied by the company. In a sharp rebuttal, Actum, through their legal counsel, sent a cease and desist letter to Al B. Shur, demanding an immediate retraction and cessation of defamatory statements made both publicly and privately. And so this is all so interesting. Measured Man says, I questioned Al for the last year. When he made the statement about Angie Stone, I was done because no friend does that. I said what I said. Okay, you absolutely did, beloved. Thank you for that information and also for your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Yeah, I did hear that he said something about Angie Stone. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I do remember someone mentioning it to me. So it goes on to say, it does appear that the firm is now preparing to take legal action against the singer, who's already facing public backlash for what critics are calling a disgusting exploitation of a tragedy for personal revenge. While Al B. Shur has yet to publicly respond to the cease and desist, his previously cryptic social media posts implying foul play and a cover-up have begun disappearing. A move some say indicates legal pressure may be mounting. So yeah, cease and desist. So he's probably taking all that stuff down because that's usually what happens. Now, Kim Porter, a former model and longtime partner of Sean Combs, was found unresponsive in her Los Angeles home November of 2018. Okay, I'm going to skip past all of that. Critics now argue that Brown's actions not only cross ethical lines, but also exploit Porter's memory to settle personal vendettas, saying the audacity of weaponizing Kim Porter's name and Sean Combs' grief just because your feelings got hurt is beyond low. This is what a veteran publicist who has worked with the artist said, saying you don't get to defame companies and lives because you got dumped. Oh, honey, okay? The legal case may soon play out publicly in court, as Actum is reportedly exploring both defamation and torturous interference claims, and potentially seeking damages for reputational harm and business disruption. Now, as the scandal unfolds, industry insiders warn this could mark the final fall from grace for the once revered crooner, whose career has been increasingly marred by erratic behavior and incendiary claims. Stay tuned for updates because this story is developing. Honey, do y'all hear this? Al B. Shur. Do y'all hear this? All so sad, honey. The end of the day. All so sad. Now, here's the thing. You can't just make baseless claims. And even if you think certain things, like I said, you have to have proof. Okay? And that book deal is supposedly Panther Strike said Al is a lying fool. Listen, the book deal is on hold because of this. All of this happening. And now, because they wanted him to talk about Diddy in the book. That's basically why they were giving him the book deal. You see, this is the thing. A lot of these people that are going around talking about Diddy, like Gene Deal, Al B. Shur and others, at the end of the day, if they don't have anything to say about Diddy, then nobody wants to listen. Okay, if they don't have anything to say about Diddy, nobody cares what they're talking about. They're only known for spilling tea or making up lies on Diddy. Okay, what are they going to do when that fizzles out? What are they going to talk about then? Okay, so the grift is over. Okay, the grift is over. Please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, that's just a sad story. And here's the thing, Al B. Shur. Some people say that Diddy didn't really adopt Quincy or whatever. I don't know if he did or not, but he darn sure raised him. And Quincy looks more favorably at Diddy than he does his own father, because why? He says Al B. Shur wasn't there. Okay, so why wasn't he there? Now, he could say that Kim didn't allow him to or whatever. I think that's what he may have said before. I can't recall, so don't quote me on that. But the bottom line is you could always take the custodial parent to court if you really want to see your child and spend time with your child and do things for your child. Nobody can just keep your child away from you with they can if you allow them to. But if you have parental rights, okay, unless you've given them up, you should always be able to take the person to court. So it just makes me think that maybe he was just a no good father. Maybe he was just a deadbeat dad. Maybe he just wasn't doing his due diligence. And maybe that's why his son favors Diddy over him. Okay, maybe that's what that is. So anyway, it's just a sad story, but let's not forget that I'll be sure, according to Kim Porter, and I showed you all the video over a year ago, Kim Porter said he cheated on her and got somebody else pregnant. And that was just doing too much and going too far. So she was going to put up with it. So that's why the relationship didn't last. Okay. And so anyway, likes up, everyone, please like and share. Now, with that being said, let's talk about Trump. Let's talk about Trump because Trump is out here talking real crazy. I want you all to see this. He says some of the most ridiculous things, in my opinion. Okay, now where is it? Where is it? Here it is right here. I want you all to see this. Now, this is what y'all's president said. See, MAGA's going to be mad because didn't he tell them that he's getting rid of the immigrants and all of that? But now Donald Trump on undocumented workers saying these people are naturally fit for farm labor. Inner city Americans won't do farm work. Who's he talking about, you guys? When he says inner city Americans, you know he's talking about black people. Okay, he tried to find a little crafty way to say it. When they start talking about inner city, urban areas and things of the sort, you know they're talking about us. Impoverished communities and all that. Trump is something else. Okay, please pay attention. Please pay attention. I'm going to share my screen. I am going to share my screen because Trump needs to sit down somewhere. Now he's talking about what valuable farmers they are. Let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share.
I just want to hear you clearly. You're saying the people who have been here for years and who have been even paying taxes, you're going to look at them very differently and maybe they belong here in the workforce?
I want to work with them, and in some cases we're sending them back to their country with a pass back in legally, and we're doing things that are very difficult to do and very complex, but it works really well. We're sending them back, and then they're schooling, they're learning, they're coming in legally. We have a lot of that going on, but we're taking care of our farmers. We can't let our farmers not have anybody, these people, you can't replace them very easily. People that live in the inner city are not doing that work. They're just not doing that work. And they've tried, we've tried, everybody tried. They don't do it. These people do it naturally. I said, what happens if they get it to a farmer the other day? What happens if they get a bad back? He said, they don't get a bad back, sir, because if they get a bad back, they die. I said, that's interesting, isn't it? These are very, in many ways, they're very, very special people. Okay, go ahead.
I just want to hear you clearly.
Is he crazy or what? Did y'all hear that? He said they don't get a bad back because if they get a bad back, they die. Trump is insane. Okay, I want you all to pay attention. Allegedly. Oh, but let's continue. Okay, Trump teases new policy for migrant farm labor. He said, you ninjas is lazy, honey. Y'all don't want to do farm work. Okay, you inner city Negroes, so to speak. Anyway, here's what it says. Officials are debating how to placate farmers' need for migrant labor without appearing to offer amnesty to undocumented immigrants. So Donald Trump said Tuesday that his administration will release new rules and regulations on migrant farm labor as the country's need for workers and the food they help produce clashes with his vow to deport undocumented immigrants. Trump said that his administration will continue to deport criminals, but that he wants to work with farmers to find a solution for their workers. oftentimes immigrants who have lived in the country illegally for decades and are paying taxes. Okay, these are the ones that he's specifically talking about. Now, he suggested that the White House was working on a touchback program for some workers, requiring them to leave the U.S. and then re-enter through a legal pathway, an idea that faces strong opposition among immigration hawks who view exceptions for one industry as a slippery slope. That would be his MAGA base. Now, in some cases, he says, we're sending them back to their country. Okay, we already heard him talk about that. Now, the policy debate has roiled the White House for months as the president's aides weigh ideas from across the administration. Officials are debating how to placate farmers' needs for migrant labor without appearing to give amnesty to the undocumented immigrants. The administration officials have also discussed expanding access to the H-2A program for non-seasonal agricultural industries like dairy. Okay, an issue that has long received Republican support, but it will fall short of replacing the estimated 320,000 undocumented farm workers already in the U.S. And any touchback program or moves that provide these workers with a path to legal status will be criticized by immigration hawks who view such exceptions as a form of amnesty. So Trump, who has appeared sympathetic to both farmers and immigration hawks, has said that the farm laborers aren't easy to replace. An argument that runs up against critics' argument that native-born workers could fill the jobs. The president said that people that live in the inner city, they won't do that work. He said they've tried. Okay, so there you go. There you have it, honey. The end of the day. So Trump's making new policies and all of that. I mean, you know, it is what it is. See, a lot of people complain about the illegal immigrants and all that stuff, but I told you all before, you know, if you all remember when I had Mr. Raymond Fontroy on here, the guy that was Dr. King's driver back in the day. If you all remember when I had him on here a couple of years ago for Black History Month, he was talking about how the immigrants stimulate the economy. Okay, and they do. So it really makes no sense to be having mass deportations and whatnot because they stimulate the economy, okay, at the end of the day. Now, should they be coming here illegally? I don't think so, because the problem with that is when they're out here committing crimes and doing certain things, it's hard to track these people or for them to get any type of justice, or for the victims of the ones who are committing crimes to get any sort of justice. Okay, so what do you all think? You all think it's a good idea for Trump to send them back and then have them come back in a legal pathway? What do you all think about it? Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Now, also, Ron DeSantis has banned lab-grown meat. Let's talk about it, because that's exactly, I don't blame him for that. That's one good thing that he did, and he's not, you know, I'm no fan of his, but I find it interesting because it should be banned, period. Okay? It should be banned, period. Hold on. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Okay, here we go. So he had proposed legislation about a year or so ago. And, you know, now he's saying that they're not going to be able to produce this lab-grown meat in Florida. They're not going to be able to have it. And here's the thing. Who knows what is in this stuff? First of all, it sounds disgusting. That's right. Okay, Truth Montage said Frankenstein food. Exactly. I mean, it sounds disgusting. Okay, now you should be asking yourselves, why would our government be allowing this to even happen? Okay, this is not a country that's in famine. Okay, people are not starving in the streets. So why would they need to make allowances for any such thing? It's just absolutely disgusting. Okay, this country to me seems to want to keep their citizens sick. Okay, so that the healthcare industry and the pharmaceutical companies get their fat pockets. So they make all this money at our expense. And keep in mind that there's plenty of foods that are sold here that are illegal in other countries. For example, Ritz crackers. Did y'all know that? I used to love to eat some Ritz crackers. Don't you know Ritz crackers are banned in certain countries? And you should ask yourselves why. Okay, bread. Some of the bread they sell here is banned in other countries. It's just all crazy. And so, it's really, and here's the thing, it's very difficult for some people to eat healthy because the healthier choices are often very expensive, just ridiculous prices, just ridiculous prices at the end of the day. And it leaves people with very poor choices. Now, here's what I want to talk about. So there's a young man by the name of Teddy Bridgewater. So he got suspended from coaching simply because he was helping the team members, because he was giving them rides home and things like that, and buying them food and stuff. Why is that a problem? You see, I find it interesting because nobody cares about the young Black youth. That's why we have so many of these thugs out here. Okay, the ones whose parents don't look after them or just let them roam the streets or hang out with any type of crowd or whatever. And he was trying to prevent these things from happening and also trying to keep them out of trouble and out of harm's way. But he got suspended for that. And I thought it was very interesting. Okay, I'm going to go to this interview of him discussing it. Likes up, everyone, please. Don't forget to like and share. Thank you in advance. Hold on just a second. Okay, here we go.
Before anything, and when I decided to coach, those players became my sons, and I wanted to make sure that I just protect them in the best way that I can, and I think that's what came about. Miami Northwestern is in a tough neighborhood, and sometimes things can happen when kids are walking home and different things like that. So I just try to protect them, give them, a ride home instead of having to take those dangerous walks. But I just want people to continue to see me for the person that I've been, from the time I arrived at the NFL, from the time that I arrived at the University of Louisville. Just a humble guy who has a big heart and a cheerful giver. There are a lot of changes, you like to see. But, I guess in due time, those changes will happen. But until then, man, I can't change who I am, because of the rules. Like I have a big heart. I get it from my mom, and I just always said that I was once those kids. And I know what it's like to be in their shoes. I know what it's like to walk those halls at Miami Northwestern. And to have your stomach growling and rumbling at 12 o'clock in the afternoon because you didn't have any lunch money or you don't get free lunch. So I can't change who I am. I'll still give to those kids just because, man, I know what it's like. And I'll still give. Not only when I say give, it's not even about money. It's about my time and my presence, because a lot of times you see your idol on TV and it's like, man, I wonder what it's like to be that person. But when they see me in the flesh and they see how, I'm an open spirited person and I'm happy and I'm around them and they fit right in with me and I fit in with them. And it's just hope. And I live by calling myself the neighborhood hope dealer, and I'm hoping that I'm, dealing hope to everyone back in South Florida and across the state of Florida. I'm a
Okay, so like I said, he was suspended from coaching for giving players rides and meals, saying that he was just trying to keep them safe in a tough neighborhood. Things can happen when kids are walking home. Okay, so I think that's awesome, but I find it interesting that they want to demonize and vilify people who are simply trying to help. It reminds me of how they did the Black Panther Party for self-defense when they were out there providing breakfast for the kids so they could have a healthy meal before they got to school, because that, can determine how your day goes. And they were criticized for that. All right. And so the same thing happening here. When people try to help these inner city youth, okay, these are the things that they encounter. Measure Man said, "That's my cousin. You want to talk to him? We've been on this for a minute in NOLA. This was his heart." All right. Well, that's very interesting, beloved. Shout out to him. Peace, love, and blessings. And thank you for that tidbit of information. Okay. Thank you for that tidbit of information. I appreciate you. And thanks for the contribution to the channel. Okay, so that all being said, Easy says that's DeSantis's Florida schools. Okay. Queen Mother Virgo, my aunt said fake food and nasty. I know, right? I mean, make it all make sense. Oh, so crazy. Anyway, with that all being said, moving right along, everybody, please don't forget to hit the like button. Here it is right here. Here is Ron DeSantis talking about it. Let me go. Let me share my screen. Okay, here we go.
Fake lab-grown meat elsewhere. We're not doing that in the state of Florida.
That's the message behind the bill Governor DeSantis signed Wednesday. It takes aim at meat grown by scientists in a lab, making it a crime to manufacture or sell cultivated meat in Florida.
What they want to say is this is the same as raising cattle and doing it naturally, then there's no reason that you have this industry. So it is designed to represent a threat to agriculture as we know it.
And supporters say the new law offers protections to Florida's cattle industry.
It's never been more important than today to protect Florida's farmers and ranchers, and that's what this legislation does.
But opponents say concerns about lab-grown meat are overblown. Federal regulators have already said some products are safe and ready to eat after receiving FDA approval last year, a point made by cultivated meat industry members during the legislative session.
Cultivated meat is safe, period. We make our chicken with a safe process in a safe environment, and USDA inspectors are on site.
All right, so to me, this is a win. I don't eat meat, but if I did eat meat, I would want to eat natural meat that came from animals that was already alive, that was naturally cultivated and stuff like that. I wouldn't want lab-grown meat because we don't know what they're doing to these lab-grown experiments with vaccines, with chemicals, with poisons they putting in there, which they're known for doing. So this is a win to me.
Take your fake lab-grown meat elsewhere.
Okay, Ron DeSantis said, take your fake lab-grown meat elsewhere. Don't bring it to Florida, okay? Now, I don't blame him because it's all disgusting. All right, it's absolutely disgusting. And I definitely don't want to eat anything of the sort. All right. Now, listen to this. Florida man arrested after fatally shooting his grandparents, then claiming God told him to do it. Police say he also shot their neighbor who was attempting to call 911 for help. This is all crazy. Honey, demonic possession is real. There's a bunch of demons walking around here cloaked in human flesh.
22-year-old was detained and had a spontaneous utterance saying that God told him to send his grandparents to him, according to the report.
In a West Melbourne triple shooting that took the lives of an elderly couple, 22-year-old Jeremiah Campbell is charged with killing his grandparents. Detectives say he also shot and hurt a neighbor. As West News Brevard County reporter Megan Moriarty explains, new documents reveal why he says he did it.
22-year-old Jeremiah Campbell will soon go before a judge for a second time to give a plea of guilty or not guilty. He's charged with the murders of his grandparents, 83-year-old Reverend George White and 81-year-old Mary White. He's also accused of shooting and injuring a neighbor who was trying to help the family. During his initial appearance, he was incredibly emotional, sobbing, and at one point he even got sick. A newly released arrest affidavit reveals he was in a similar state when the 22-year-old was detained and had a spontaneous utterance saying that God told him to send his grandparents to him, according to the report.
In a West Melbourne triple shooting that took the lives of an elderly couple.
That's a darn shame. Prayers and condolences to the families, the family, friends, and loved ones. And let me tell you all something about that. Did you all see that demonic look in his eyes? Did you all see that? Winter Blessing said, don't cry now. Okay. Dark Tube said he was eating that lab-grown meat. Okay. Honey, I wouldn't be surprised. The thing is, he said that he had an utterance. He gave an utterance and said that God told him to do it. That was clearly not God. Okay, honey, that was the devil. That was who that was. That was Satan himself. Okay. Now, I want you all to listen to this because let me know what your thoughts about this, because this is a mother who gets upset because she wants her child to give her their birthday money that they were given for their birthday. She wants them to give it to her to pay her bills. Okay. Now, y'all let me know what y'all think about this because I find this all egregious. Please pay
All
attention.
the stuff I do for you as a mother. Literally, I take care of you, I feed you, I cook, I do all that stuff. And all I did, I asked you for your birthday money so that I can pay the light bill. You don't want to give me the birthday money. So I am taking the PS5 back so I can get the money so the bill can be paid.
Well, how you gonna ask for my birthday money that I got on my birthday to pay the light bill? And why you trying to take my PS5 away?
Well, you can't play the PS5 anyway if there ain't gonna be no damn lights in our house.
You shouldn't have been going out so much. You would have had the money. What happened to the income tax?
Trying to, first of all the stuff I do for you, stay out my business. When I come to you as a mother and I'm telling you there's an issue where I need help, you help.
Going out so much. I'm tired of going out. You need to spend time with us, and you need to spend money on your bills.
Leilani, I'm not even talking to you. So you stay in the child's place. I'm
Now
talking
you
to
just stay in the child's place, but you asking my brother to pay your bills. And just like Lay said, you need to start spending money on us and stop going spending money on yourself and your little boyfriend.
Boy, y'all stay out my.
Okay, so y'all heard that, honey. This is all ghetto parenting 101. Now, did you see her nails? Maybe she needs to stop going to get those nails done on a regular. Okay, and she would have money to pay her bills. Sitting there asking your child for his birthday money so you can pay the light bill, that's crazy work. And I bet you she's laying up with some man because you heard the other child say, stop spending money on you and your boyfriend. Your boyfriend can't help you pay the bills, but you're asking your child for his birthday money? Yeah, that's very ghetto. It's given very much so ghetto, okay? Straight up out the hood. Okay? Easy said, I see $100 on her nails. Okay? Natasha said, why is she recording this? Right. Well, you know, in the day of the internet, honey, people record any and everything for clout. Now, maybe she thought that she had a valid argument. You see, that's the thing about nonsensical, obtuse people such as herself. She probably thought she had a valid argument and that the child's just being out of pocket. Okay? At the end of the day. That's all crazy. That's all crazy. You know, at the end of the day, a lot of people, well, I'm not going to say a lot, but some women absolutely think like that. Now, this is what I want you all to see too. This woman is actually promoting a race war, if you ask me. Karen here, talking trash about black people don't know how to shoot guns and all of this. I want y'all to hear this, honey, because I thought it was hilarious. She's got to be joking, right? Tell me she's not serious. Okay, so hold on for a second. Okay, here we go.
Blacks being like, oh, we're gonna get a race war. If there was a race war, you wouldn't win. Okay. First of all, you might have plenty of guns, but you don't know how to shoot them. You think this is how you shoot guns? You think this is how you shoot a pistol? That's not. I know you saw that in a movie and you thought it looked cool. And you saw your favorite fucking rapper doing that, but that's not how you aim and shoot a gun. The only reason blacks have not exterminated themselves in the hood, because black on black violence is insane and through the roof, is because they're such horrible shots. So you really think you're gonna beat a duck hunter who shoots ducks for a living, for fun, on his free time, and doesn't miss? Really?
So much unpack in this video, and I can't start off with the side. Is it worse that she's trying to incite a race war and dry ass trying to say black folks is, or does she believe we too incompetent to be able to survive? We ain't been surviving this whole white supremacist society that has institutional system that's always trying to exterminate us anyway. I can't decide. You feel me? I also think so. Black folks can't hold a firearm correctly, nor do we practice firearm safety. Apparently, what she's saying. Also, black hunters and farmers don't exist. She must not know about the well-seasoned firearm told us at the old trail rides. You know, they doing more than just doing trail ride dances, huh? Last thing, too. Y'all don't find preposterous that they don't consider it a war when it's exterminating us willy-nilly. They don't consider it a war until we start trying to resist said extermination and targeting orange to people they feel like they're trying to fight back.
Okay, no lies detected. Okay, no lies detected. Now she sounds crazy. First of all, when has she ever seen a black person holding a gun like that in real life? Talking about you, I know y'all think it's cool. Okay, I know y'all think it's cool, and you probably saw it in the movie. Yeah, we did see it in the movie. And that's the same place she saw it, because I know she didn't see anybody doing that in real life. Not no black person. Okay, please sit down, lady. Okay, please sit down. And then talking about we're sitting around talking about a race war. No, that's what you're sitting around talking about, ma'am. We're sitting around trying to mind our own Black business and stay to ourselves and mind the business that pays us. Okay, because what we don't do is worry about what they're doing. Okay, that's what we don't do until they include us in their BS. Okay, please pay attention. Facts, no feelings with Heather says they are really enjoying saying whatever they want about Black people. I know, right? So anyway, with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe, okay? Don't forget to double check and make sure that you're still subscribed, especially if you have not been receiving those notifications. Dark Tube says she watches too much TV. She absolutely does. Talking about us, girl. We don't hold guns like that, okay? And plenty of us go to the shooting range, all right? That's what we do. Okay, so anyway, honey, don't let the smooth taste fool you because she really got us all effed up. Okay, and we're not even thinking about a race war. Like I said, we're thinking about paying our bills and doing what we need to do and mind our own Black business. That's her that's pressed. But aren't some of them always pressed about us, sadly? It's the obsession of it all for me. It's the obsession of it all. Okay, so anyway, I love you all to life. I hope you enjoy the rest of this evening. I will see you all tomorrow morning for your morning wake-up call. Until then, beloveds, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
In order for you and me to devise some kind of method or strategy to offset some of the events or a repetition of the events that have taken place here in Los Angeles recently, we have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another Black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is Black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a Black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my Black shoes by the Black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man that go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah. Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen. I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only